We will continue with the chapter light. First portion or first part is over, that is the reflection of light. Next we will continue to the second portion, that is refraction of light. So many examples are there for refraction of light from nature. You can see the formation of rainbow. Then you can see the sunlight that's traveling through the atmosphere. That sunlight undergoes refraction, continuous refraction by the atmosphere. So many examples you can see from the nature. So now we will study what is refraction of light. Okay, what is refraction of light? Actually, refraction means it's a bending of light ray when light travels from one medium to another. When light travels from one medium to another, the light ray will suffer a deviation from its original path. As we know, the light travels in a straight line. So, when it travels from one medium to another, it will suffer a deviation, or there will be a change in the path of the light ray. There will be a change in the path of the light ray. That is known as refraction of light. Okay, when light travels from one medium to another, there will be a bending at the surface of the two media. Means when two mediums are in contact, at that surface there will be a bending of light ray. That is known as refraction of light. So here you can see it's in a glass beaker. A pencil is immersed in a glass beaker. Okay, the glass beaker, this much is filled with, 3/4 of it is filled with water. 3/4 of this pencil, this glass beaker is filled with water, and we immersed a pencil here. So when you immerse a pencil here, there is a bending at the surface where the air and the water, there is a bending at the surface where the air and the water meets. So this is a separation, this first medium and this one is the second medium. Okay, that's the first medium and this one is the second medium. So air is the first medium, water is the second medium, and at the surface, at this point you can see a bending of the light ray. You can see a split is there in the pencil. Okay. So that is known as refraction of light. So the bending of light rays, when it passes obliquely from one medium to another is called refraction of light. The bending of light ray when it passes obliquely from one medium to another is called refraction of light. If light passes like this, perpendicular or normally to a surface from one medium to another, refraction will not take place. Refraction will not take place. It should pass obliquely, means at an angle with the normal. If you draw a normal to the surface, the light should incident or enter the second medium at an angle with respect to the normal. Okay. Then in that case, there will be a bending of light ray when it enters from one medium to another. That is known as refraction of light. Actually, the reason for refraction of light is that when light enters from one medium to another, suppose it travels from air to glass, the speed of the light will change. the speed of the light will change when it enters from one medium to another. That is the reason for that bending of light ray. Okay. So, when light enters from one medium to another, at the surface of that intersection, there will be a bending, and that bending is due to the change in the speed of light in the two media. When it enters from one medium to another, the speed of the light will change. That is the reason for the refraction of light. Refraction of light takes place because the speed of the light changes when light travels from one medium to another. Yeah. Light bends inwards because the speed of light is slower in water. Here also you can see a bending. Otherwise, if it is not immersed in water, it will look like this in the straight way. If I place a pencil here, it will look like the same way. There is no bending. If water is there, then it will bend because the speed of light in water is less. The speed of light in water is less when we compare with that of air, because the light travels from air to water. Now, so many terms are there related to this refraction of light. In reflection of light, we also we studied incident ray, reflected ray, normal, point of incidence, angle of reflection, angle of incidence. Here also incident ray, refracted ray, normal, point of incidence, angle of incidence, angle of refraction is there. Okay. So, this one is a incident ray. Ray of light this is a incident ray. A ray of light enters this is a incident ray. Okay. The ray of light enters from one medium to another. This is a point of intersection. At this point, the ray of light meets the surface of two separating media. It meets the surface of two separating media. So, we can name it as like this. AO. Okay. AO is a surface which separates air and water. Okay. So, at that point, from that point, it will suffer the bending or deviation will takes place. So, this point is known as a point of incidence. Point of incidence. Then, if you draw a normal, this one is a normal that is drawn at the point of incidence. So, this one is a point of incidence. This one is a incident ray. This one is a surface of separating two medium, air and water. Now, if you draw a line normal at this point of incidence, the angle between the incident ray and this normal, that is a angle of incidence. Then this angle between the refracted ray and the normal, that is the angle of refraction. Okay. It's a glass. This one is air. So, this is a separation this is a surface of separating the two media. This one is air and this one is glass. Now, this is a incident ray, means a ray of light that travels from one medium to another. That is a incident ray. That incident ray from air enters to glass. A ray of light enters from air to glass. So, at this point, that point is known as a point of incidence. Now, I will draw a normal at this point. So, this one is a normal. Then, when a ray of light enters from air to glass, definitely it will serve for deviation, or a bending will be there at the surface of the two separating media. The bending will be there at the surface of the two separating media. So, it will bend like this. So, this one is the refracted ray. That ray is known as a refracted ray. Now, this angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of incidence. Angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as angle of incidence, and this angle between the refracted ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of refraction. So, this one is a incident ray, this one is a refracted ray, and this angle is known as the angle of refraction. The same letters are used to represent angle of incidence and angle of refraction here also, that is I and R. I is the angle of incidence and R is the angle of refraction. Okay. So, when light enters from one medium to another, there will be a bending at the surface of the two separating media. So, at this point, it will suffer a bending. Okay, that is known as refraction of light, and the reason for the refraction of light is that when light enters from one media to another, there will be a change in the speed of light. There will be a change in the speed of light. Now, a comparison between reflection and refraction of light. So, here the light will not travel through the second medium. In case of reflection, the light will not travel through the second medium. It will be reflected back to the same medium itself. Means from where it comes to that medium itself, the light will be reflected back. Now, here the light will pass through the second medium. So, normally all these two medium will be a transparent one. Okay, normally these two mediums will be a transparent one, so that the light can pass through the second medium. Okay, the light will pass through the second medium. So, here it is air and here it is water. So, from light enters from air to water. At this point, it will suffer a bending. And the angle between, if you draw a normal at that point, the angle between the incident ray and the normal is known as a angle of incidence. Then angle between the reflected ray and the normal is known as the angle of refraction. Okay. So, the speed of light is not same in all media. Different mediums are there: air, water, glass, diamond, kerosene. All those things can be considered as a different medium. Okay. So, in that the speed of light will be different in different media. Okay. In air it is having one value, in water it is having another value, in diamond it is having another value, in kerosene it is having another value. So, the speed of light changes in all media. So, a medium in which the speed of light is more, that is known as optically rarer medium. Optically rarer medium means in that medium the speed of light is more. That is known as optically rarer medium. Optically denser medium means the speed of light is less. The speed of light is less. So, if you consider two media, suppose A and B, you consider two media A and B. This one speed of light is more, and in this one the speed of light is less. So, this one is rarer medium, optically rarer medium, and this one is denser medium. Okay, that one is denser medium. Now, when light enters from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends towards a normal at the point of incidence. In rarer medium, the speed of light is faster. When it enters to a denser medium, the speed slows down and bends towards the normal. Angle of refraction is smaller than the angle of incidence. Now, what will happen to the refracted ray when a ray of light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, and also from rarer medium to denser medium? Both conditions we need to clarify. Okay, from denser medium to rarer medium, and from rarer medium to denser medium, in which way the bending of light ray will takes place. So, first we will consider rarer medium to denser medium. Now, I will consider from air to glass. This one is air, this is glass. Air is the most rarer medium. The most rarer medium is air. So, air is a rarer medium and glass is a denser medium. So, when a ray of light travels from air to glass, this one is the incident ray. At this point I have drawn a normal. It will bend towards the normal. It will bend towards the normal. The angle of incidence I will be greater than angle of refraction. Angle of refraction will be smaller. Angle of refraction will be smaller. Angle of incidence will be greater. Okay. Then, what is the reason why it bends towards the normal? Because in this rarer medium, the speed of the light is more. Speed of light is more. When it enters to a denser medium, the speed of the light will decrease. The speed of the light will decrease and it will bend towards the normal. Okay. So, when light enters from air to glass, refracted ray bend towards the normal. Reason is that the speed of the light changes or decreases when it travels from air to glass. The speed of the light will decreases when it travels from air to glass. So, the refracted ray bends towards the normal. Angle of incidence will be greater than angle of refraction. Angle of incidence will be greater than angle of refraction. Now, what will happen when light ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium? This one is glass, air. Okay. So, glass is denser, air is rarer. Now, what will happen when a ray of light enters from a denser medium to a rarer medium? Now, this is the incident ray. Yeah, through this glass, the light ray passes through the glass. This is a normal at the point of incidence. This one is the angle of incidence I. The refracted ray or the ray coming out from the glass will move away from the normal or bends away from the normal. When a ray of light enters from glass to air, or when a ray of light travels from glass to air, the ray of light will bend away from the normal. At the point of incidence, it will move away from the normal. This one is the normal. This is the angle of refraction. That's the angle of refraction. So, what is the reason for that bending? Why it is moving away from the normal? The reason is that in this glass, it's a denser medium, the speed of the light will be less. Speed of light will be less. When it travels to air, it's a rarer medium, the speed of the light will increase. The speed of the light will increase and it will move away from the normal, or it will bend away from the normal. Okay. So, here angle of incidence will be less, angle of refraction will be more. Okay. So, when a ray of light enters from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal at the point of incidence. A ray of light travelling from a denser medium to a rarer medium speeds up and bends away from the normal. In denser medium, the speed is less. When it enters to a rarer medium, the speed of the light will increase and it will bend away from the normal. Here, the angle of refraction is greater than the angle of incidence. Angle of refraction will be greater than angle of incidence. Now, what will happen when a ray of light incident in this way? Normally, this one is a normal line, perpendicular. If you draw a perpendicular line like this, it's 90-degree line to the surface. Now, what will happen when a ray of light incident in the same direction? It will not suffer any refraction, or it will go straight. It will go straight. It will not suffer any deviation. If the incident ray falls normally or perpendicular to the surface of the glass slab, there is no bending for the incident ray, or the ray will go straight. Okay. Since the incident ray goes along the normal to the surface, the angle of incidence is equal to 0 and angle of refraction is also 0. That's why it will not suffer any deviation. Okay, that is the reason why it will not suffer any deviation. Okay, so normally when you look through window glass, usually it's very thin and the shift in the light ray will not be noticeable. Okay, the glass window panels are very thin and therefore the shift in the light rays passing through them are not noticeable. So, when a ray of light incident normally to a surface, it will not suffer any deviation, or the refracted ray will move in a straight line. The refracted ray will move in a straight line.